too many things going on that are important. So I went for a walk and I just let spirit kind of guide me of what is the most important thing to focus on for today. So I'm going to get to that. Definitely, we need our cosmic energy report, our astro weather, because there are things happening. But first, I want to hear from you guys. How are we feeling? Drop an emoji, mind, body, spirit emoji. Yesterday, I had the most amazing healing with my personal healer and my good friend Jamie. That was amazing. And then we had this breath work that was so good last night. You can catch the replay on YouTube if you missed it. And I like steamed. I did, yoni steaming, and I did face steaming, like Marisa, who came on last week, recommended. And then I did the cleansing and dry brushing, and it was a really restorative day. I played in the garden. Today I woke up, I think I have a little bit of energy. I have a little hangover. So drinking water, drinking tea, went out in nature, hung out with all my cardinals that are like keeping me company now because they know we need it. I have never seen this many cardinals in my life. Like I literally, like 10 fly by my head when I'm walking now. And even my partner in my life, Wizard Joe, has kept like a cardinal count on our walks because we see so many. It's amazing. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you to my guides, my guardians, my grandma Helen, who always holds it down when I need a little boost from the unseen realm. So let's talk about, like mind, body, spirit. Let me know how you're doing. I pulled some cards for today that are also going to be, we're doing this now Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're doing it every day in the beginning of quarantine. We're going to shift it to every other day just because I have obviously all of you beautiful clients. I have projects I want to work on. I want to work on a podcast, writing, and we're also launching the Cosmic Boss. So I have a ton of one-on-one calls with all of you beauties this week. So this will be, just mark your calendars, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. here. We have some great guests coming up. Jamie, like I mentioned, is going to be on. We have a bunch of sacred masculine superstars that are going to come on and bring on some masculine energy this week and next week. So excited for that. We're going to have Marisa back on to talk about like solo quarantining and self-touch and sensual self-care we can do on our own. So the magic is not stopping, okay? We're just doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Other kind of housekeeping admin things that I just wanted to mention before we get into our energy report is definitely full moon tonight. We're going to send out an email to the community. If you guys are in the Cosmic AF community, we're going to send you out the whole schedule for April because, we want to do like a lot of stuff going on. So we have full moon workshop tonight. We're going to have a high vibe happy hour coming up. And then we have our new moon in Taurus. And then we're also going to be doing a series on astrology. So if you're not signed up for the Cosmic AF community, you can definitely do that. It's all through our website. You can find it. And and also Cosmic Boss, we are at like 85% capacity. We awarded some scholarships and most people accepted them. And then I have some regular people onboarding. So we have a few more spots. I received a message right before I got on here from a client I work with one-on-one. And I, had her reflect on the new moon in Libra and where she was for new moon in Libra. And we talked about that last night because she was feeling, she had, had done the breath work with us and all of that. And she's like, I feel so grateful. And I was like, we started working together right on new moon in Libra. I remember because, I was going to Italy and that was right on the time we started our journey together. And she started journaling about how far she's come in these past 6 months. Babies, when I tell you, your whole entire universe can change in 6 months, okay? The new moon to full moon cycle has a divine design for a reason. 6 months is time where you can do real inner outer world transformation. She wrote me a message She gave me permission to share it, so I might put it up today. I don't always like share my testimonials because sometimes I feel like it's, I don't know, it feels weird. But like, this is a really beautiful one, because it's a reminder to all of us to take our power back, to be sovereign, to remember like, if you plant a seed of intention and you just nourish it with some self-care and take some inspired action steps and you really believe and surrender to the process, and yes, have some support. That's like my job as your mentor, coach, cheerleader. um, you can shed, you can heal, you can lift the heaviness that you thought was always yours to carry. That was just part of you, and you realize it's not part of you. And you can dream weave a really big, beautiful life into existence. So I really invite you all on this full moon in Libra to think about where you want to be in 6 months. I mean, it's not a new moon, but it's still a 6 month cycle. So thinking about, we have the new moon in Taurus coming up, but just thinking like, where do you want to be in 6 months? The time passes anyway. It takes work sometimes to change, but it takes work to like not change. It takes the same amount of energy, I think, to stay in our old patterns and play small. So I just invite you to think about, what do I want my life to be like in 6 months? What would it be like if I could just move through the world a little differently? What would it be like to have a bank account that supported me? What would it be like to wake up every morning with joy and purpose? What would it be like to have, fulfilling relationships? Um, Cosmic Boss is, like I say, we're focused on business, but it's everything. It's purpose. It's how you want to greet the world. Okay. So let me know if you want to set up a one-on-one time with me for a discovery call about Cosmic Boss. Today is the day when we'll figure out like the wait list for the scholarship. So we might have 2 more scholarship spots waiting depending on who confirms today. So if you're interested in Cosmic Boss one-on-one, DM me. Let's set up a time to talk. Or if you're interested in scholarship, let me know. So that's my admin. That's all my Virgo housekeeping notes. Good morning, Ernest. Oh, good morning, Sophie. Okay, let's talk about positive news. Before I get into astrology, because the astrology is going to blow my damn mind right now. And we're going to go over full moon and Libra astrology today, because like I said, we're not going to be meeting tomorrow. So the full moon is going down tomorrow night, 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we have 3 days before to really dig into full moon energy. So you can start your full moon tonight. Ritual work, you can do it tomorrow. You can do it Wednesday. The moon is gracious with her time. She's in the feminine. She doesn't need you to hit that mark like a train leaving the station. So we're going to talk about full moon and Libra themes today. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Venus, Gemini, a little bit about the mega conjunction that happened over the weekend. But I'm going to focus on that because that's really important. Gabrielle, DM me. I'll send you all the info for the scholarship application. And it's a partial scholarship. I had one and then a second client of mine who are my cosmic rock stars. And in the past year to 2 years, depending on the person of me working with them, they have like double, tripled their income. They are like free of toxic relationships, living their best life. Boss ladies, and they just wanted to give a little money to offset some scholarships for some people who are in need, for some people who are in marginalized communities, to get some new some inclusivity, some new voices to the tables, new ages, different. We have a lot offering obviously to our LGBTQ and non-binary cuties. If you work in social justice or mental health, these are all areas that we want more representation from. So, and I understand it's also a tricky financial time or unsure time for a lot of us. So we have the scholarships thanks to those amazing people. Okay, so on a personal note, the positive energy and the positive news for today coming out of quarantine is not only, all that I just mentioned. We have so many fun, exciting things going on. We also, it's just this time of Audrey's on. Audrey had talked about she went to a walk to talk this weekend, and it's a time of creativity and this time of like heightened creativity. And I feel that way. We have so much for making and wanting to produce. And then just this weekend, I was just watching people in my life create in kind of like unconventional ways. Things are a little different. So okay, great. Oh, great, J-Bay, great, great, great. Okay, well, J-Bay, let me know if you're interested in the scholarship. DM me if you're interested. This is why we want more voices at the table, more thoughts, more representation, more people. But yeah, so the creativity thing this weekend, I just found myself like, I'm very creative as a person, but I was creative in different ways. You know, me and my partner did some gardening and we just added some love. We made a few little like outdoor altars. For those of you who know me, know I'm obsessed with altars and my sacred spaces. So we made some outdoors, which we've been like wanting to do forever. So I made like a prayer altar spot for us to offer up prayers for our family and our community and to sit. And it was just this old trumpets like shaped like a heart. So we filled that. I watched my sister like make all these amazing like kind of like cover like satire musician videos on her and her fiance's Instagram, and I was cracking up. And you know, I was watching people paint on their Instagram or just be, and like something about yesterday in particular just felt. It really felt like a Sunday. Like I watched it, everyone was basking in something I saw yesterday. And to me, that just felt positive. You know, we've been in this quarantine now, some of us 3 weeks. I think I'm on like day 21 or something of quarantine. And I feel like our initial, a lot of that's like, you know, there's different layers that have come down. And yesterday to me just felt like the Sunday we should all have usually. Like, you know, we're cooking. I was, you know, Zooming with my partner's family, my family, lots of cooking. Me and my partner was in a fire. I burned up some ritual stuff. I burned up some offerings for our circle last night. We just read outside while the birds chirped. And not to say that we don't normally do that, especially in the summer, we read a lot, but you know, everything gets smushed into these weekends. And we always talk about how we want a longer weekend. And we're kind of in that right now. And I don't want to say anything to diminish anyone's like personal trauma or anything you're feeling, the unknown, that is very real too. But I do think something about yesterday, just from me, some personal good news was watching everyone just create yesterday and kind of be and bask. And it was like a nice sunny day. And it just felt like this slow but like nourishing pace that I was observing from people. And I thought that was really beautiful. In other positive news, yesterday was the first day where like New York reported a decline or like a leveling off of the COVID-19 cases. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our healthcare workers. Thank you to all of our angels, all the people showing up, all the people at work right now, all the people driving the trucks, bringing the supplies to our hospitals and doctors and nurses. So that was like a really big thing of positive news I just wanted to share. I mean, there's so many beautiful stories of everyone coming together, but that just felt like a fun fact to grab onto. So let's talk about astrology. Okay, one thing, there's a lot of things happening in astrology right now, and a lot of them are regarding air signs. We have Venus is in Gemini. The full moon is right now in Virgo. It's void in Virgo. It's going to go into Gemini, into Libra for the full moon. And we have Saturn is in Aquarius. So this is like some air sign energy. So definitely drop an emoji if you're an air sign. I'm just catching up. I love some of your guys' emoji check-ins for your self-care. Marie Rose has a snail. Disco Mermaid. Jessica has some good sleepy smiley face, silly smiley face, heart. Okay, drop an emoji if you're an air sign. I know if Jessica P is in here, I'm gonna say Jessica P because we're in like an elementary school class, then I know that you're like Miss Aquarius to the max. But there's a lot of air things going on right now. So the good thing about air, to me, it's inspiration, it's new energy. It's really like looking to the heavens and to this higher source and to figuring out your higher power and what rules you, and it's our thoughts. So the first thing I'm going to say for all of us, this is going to be full moon in Libra, real talk. This is Venus in Gemini. We're going to be in Venus Gemini for a freaking long time, kids. Okay. Venus usually goes through a sign in about 4 weeks. We're going to be in Venus and Gemini for 4 months, and that's going to include a retrograde in Venus, which does not always happen every year. I'm going to get into that at a different time. That's a talk. That's a coffee talk for another time. Okay. But then we have Saturn in Aquarius. So the first thing is I want everyone here, this is so important, is we got to check our minds, okay? The mind check, our thoughts, like I said, air sign, all these planets and air energy is about, connecting to a higher power, connecting to a higher source of information. And guess what? Whatever you focus on, whatever you fill your mind with, whatever you think about mindlessly, subconsciously, whatever you are focusing your mind to is your higher power. That's what you've made your higher source. That's what you've made, your source of the divine. So I want to repeat that again. What you focus on, what your mind is filled with, is your higher power. So this time, with all these planets, all this air action going on, I want all of us to get real with ourselves of like, what are we filling our mind with? Are we meditating like we should? Okay, Mama Maddie is like asking you, are you meditating? Very important with all these air sign things going on. Because when air sign planets are all working for us, we can have downloads, we can have inspiration, and we can tune into our divinity within, our wholeness within. What are we obsessed with? This is asking larger questions too right now. Like, is money our higher power? Is money your God? Like, real talk, Monday morning, I'm coming at you hard right now. But it's like, if that's all you could think about, money is beautiful. Money is a gift. Money is a blessing. And money is something that you deserve. It's your birthright. That's why in the Cosmic Boss, like, this is not just a normal spiritual program. I want to make money for people. I want you to have financial freedom because I want you to understand that money is energy that flows to you. But money is not your leader. Money is not your ruler. Okay. And we've all been there. This is like shifts we have. What do you obsess about? What do you think about? Do you obsess about your body image or fitting in with someone? Or are you obsessing over an ex? Are you obsessing over just something you can't control? Like this, these are not this is not your higher power. This is not your source, okay? Those are things that can float across like clouds in the sky, but you are the sky, okay? I want you to think about what am I? What am I made of? What's my sky? Am I plugged into compassion, to love, to surrendering? Do I have a practice that connects me to truly my higher source? That's why I love meditating. We did our breath work last night. Meditation, just pulling cards, sitting outside, community that helps us be conscious and cosmic all at once. All this air energy is going to be asking like, what's your higher source and what are you plugged into? What are you transmitting out into the world? And what are you allowing to be like transmit back into you? In my healing session yesterday with my beautiful healer, dear friend Jamie, she worked on my crown chakra, and my crown chakra was, this is why I love like energy, because she's in LA, I'm in the East Coast, and my crown chakra was buzzing, hair on end, static in my mind. And I was like, whoa. And I saw like, I could feel like the stuck energy around my thoughts. I could feel things being lifted. I could feel old thoughts. I could feel new information coming through, and like being downloaded like on a crown that I was wearing, and like every gem just holding information from another realm. And yes, that's very heady, but I'm a Pisces moon. Okay. This is how I experience life. But it's really this thing about like our thoughts, our mind, what we're filling our mind with, so important right now. Okay. I'm going to break down, a few things about each of what I just said. So Venus and Gemini, we're going to get back to that, but a big thing I want you to write down, because we have Venus in Gemini, which is the planet of love, the goddess of love, the goddess of money and finances, the goddess of pleasure and art, is going into Gemini, the sign of the twins. It's the sign of the duality. It's communication, and then we have full moon in Libra, which is also about partnerships, and it's about duality, and it's about balance. It's about the giving and receiving. So the first thing I want you to get really effing clear with on your life is looking at your relationships. Is there a relationship where you are giving, giving, giving and not getting anything? Or vice versa? Let's call some people out. Let's call ourselves out. Are you complaining or feeling ignored by a friend or a coworker, a client, a family member, a partner, and you're not putting in the work? You're not meeting them halfway? Are you creating a story around that? Okay, like Venus and Gemini is, I always think about my dear friend Colin, Queer Cosmos. He's a Gemini. Venus and Gemini asks us to show up for love through communication and through clear communication, not like cryptic, passive aggressive text messages, not vague booking that used to be a thing back in the day, but like just posting weird, like cryptic things. And it's not about like, wondering if they're understanding your message. It's about advocating for yourself and articulating your heart and trusting that the other person can handle that. And showing up fully to relationships, listening, sacred listening, active listening. Really important right now. We have to work on this. We're spending so much time either with a small amount of people up close and personal. So it's a great time to up level our communications, or we're having to work at communications. It's easy to be friends with your friends when you just go to brunch casually every Sunday. It's easy to have a good relationship with your coworkers when you show up in the same office every day. But that stuff's like, that's activity. That's not your communication. Okay. And that's why we have gotten lazy with our communication. We really have. Okay. And like, we're very connected, we're very communicative, but we need to learn to really articulate from the heart, speak up for ourselves, and then listen actively. Are you really listening when your partner talks or when your friend talks, or are you just waiting to interject and say your next thing? Harville Hendrix and his wife do this amazing system about this and structured dialoguing and how to listen. That's a great thing to read about right now, or you can download one of his audio books, or just look up the Imago dialoguing system, IMAGO. It's radical, life-changing stuff right now. So that's the first thing we're going to call everyone out for right now. We got Venus and Gemini, full moon and Libra. Like, what's the two-way street we're on? Are we communicating? Are we seeing the other person? Are we seeing the other side of the story? Are we having compassion? That's really big right now. And then, I'm going to get more into Venus and Gemini because that's going to be 4 months we're going to be in it. And she's going to go retrograde. It's going to get kind of crazy. So, but I do want to say Gemini is Stevie Nicks energy. So Gemini is like, I see here we have some, Dre Venus is Gemini. Amazing. So yeah, it's like there is so much that you can do with words right now. Words are a spell. Okay. Like I think about Stevie Nicks, her Cancer is in Venus, or her Venus is in Cancer technically, but her Sun is in Gemini. And I look at her like, that's someone who is a scribe, like someone who wrote things, someone who has spoken to so many hearts through her words. And I just want us to think about like, do we need to write a letter to someone? Do we need to, my partner and I had we were feeling a little like disconnected the first week of quarantine as we were kind of like jumping in and just figuring things out. And we had a really good talk and we got on the same page. And then he wrote me a really beautiful handwritten note. And that is what like truly it was like, okay, we're on the same page again. Like, so writing notes really important right now. We have time, sit down, get some postcards, get some letters, reach out to people you love, let them know you're thinking of them. And the like energy of Saturn in Aquarius, I had a download this weekend. Saturn is restrictive. Saturn puts limits on things. Saturn is like, it holds us in place on something. And so I was like, oh, Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius is social. Aquarius is community. Aquarius is friendships. Aquarius is that. And so we're literally, Saturn in Aquarius is the most like social distancing transit ever. And now I understand it. And this is why I love astrology, because the more you study and the more you see things happen in real life, you get deeper and more nuanced expressions and definitions of what these transits mean for us. So Saturn in Aquarius, it's like right now we're about to start this big transit. Saturn in Aquarius, it's going to last for a few years. And it's almost like it had to start with the social distancing for a reason. For some reason, we are being limited. We are being forced, putting a restriction on our social groups and our normal ways of gathering community so that we can innovate and that way we can have progress. So that Saturn Aquarius download came through this weekend. And I was like, mind blown by astrology once again. Saturn Aquarius is also going to bring, like I said, revolutions to the way we work. We have Uranus and Taurus, which is revolution energy and how we make money and our healthcare system. And I think we see that's happening. And we have Saturn and Aquarius happening. So again, this is going to be a lot of shifts around how we view money, how we make money. Um, Full moon in Libra, I always think, is about honoring our wholeness and our duality and our inner divine feminine and our inner sacred masculine. And we're going to talk about this tonight in a full moon workshop that I'm doing about being rooted in our masculine and being radiant in our feminine so we can be whole and we can be sovereign. But like finances are so important in that. Like that, Libra is ruled by Venus, money, Saturn, Aquarius, new ways of working, new ways of showing up and making money. I want us all to think about like, um, you know, where do I need to release some old limiting beliefs around money? And where do I need to step into maybe new ways of making money? Saturn and Aquarius rules revolution and technology. The internet that we have right now, the tools we have, there is an ability to manifest and make money in ways that we did not have 10, 20 years ago. There are new ways of making money, income sources where you can be sovereign and you can have, even if you want to have a traditional steady job, there are side ways to make money. And if you have any questions about this, please DM me. This is a big part of why I wanted to do the Cosmic Boss, is because I need my conscious leaders sovereign and feeling like they can make money through passive revenue, income streams in ways that light them up. Because where we're going, where we're headed, is we need to have like a certain freedom around money, and we need to have a leveling and equalizing happening. Like far too long, too many people hold all the money and the rest of us don't have that money. Or too often we have to bow to a boss or a manager who decides what we make, that as a woman or a woman of color or someone in a marginalized community has to make X percentage of, cents on a dollar to a traditional, white cisgender hetero man. Like, I don't know who decided that, but it's whack and those systems are breaking now. But I invite each of you to think about like, where can I, shed some of my old programming around money and finances and my worth? That's going to be a big full moon in Libra, like explosion. Like full moons to me, they're a release energy, but it's not that we're letting go of something. Don't use the full moon energy to like a lot of people talking about like letting go of the full moon, or they do things to like let go. That's really to be done more in a different time of the moon phase. This is about like like you're skyrocketing to the next level. So yeah, you're letting go of something, but it's because you're catapulting into a new stratosphere. It's like being burned up off of you as you entered like this next level of the atmosphere, the stratosphere. It's full moon is orgasm energy. It's explosion. It's wow, like burst of new life, burst of potential. So when we manifest under the full moon, we want to just feel like it already happened. It's already ours. We want to honor that. And of course, we want to look at if there's anything holding us back. It's a good time to figure that out. But this is it. Okay, guys, we're entering like the new age. We went through the 444 portal this weekend. There are things happening. This is it. This is the new dawn. This is the awakening. We're in it. This is not a drill. This is stuff people will talk about in spiritual texts and in history books. For a very long time. It was a critical turning point. Okay, so I'm just going to invite you and gently guide you here of like ways to align with the energy. Okay, Sophie, I love you. So yeah, so full moon in Libra, we want to think about everything I just said, and the full moon in Libra is really inviting back in our wholeness, coming back into balance. Where can we trust our masculine more? Where can we trust our feminine more within us? And where can we use this now from this place? Libra is social justice work. Libra is, she wants justice. She wants that balance. She wants that balance for everyone, and she won't stop until she gets it. And so part of full moon in Libra is honoring our inner balance, honoring our relationships, honoring our financial sovereignty and how we can call in more of that, and then honoring, like, okay, now what am I going to do to show up in the world, and what am I going to do to bring in some justice, and where do I see injustices that are effing pissing me off, and like what can I do about it, and how can I use all of this power. This is why we harness our personal power. This is why we do spiritual work. Okay, I see many people on Instagram who are in the spiritual community, and guys, this is a time for discernment. If your spiritual healers are just focusing on talking about themselves, me, I knew this, I do this, I show you this, follow me, that's ego-based leadership. I'm sorry, that's just old game. Okay, that's tired. If you see people on social media just talking about how they manifest money, 6 figure, 7 figure income, and they're not doing something to give back or to help other people or to help marginalized communities, if they're not giving back in some way, if they're not showing up for their people, again, that's old game. That to me is the same as all of that old energy. That's old BS. Okay. So I want you to check who you're following. Like I said at the beginning of the mind, what are you putting in your mind? Are your leaders like showing up for their communities? Are they focusing on the we instead of the me? I don't care if this is like a new age spiritual leader or someone in politics. This is very important for discernment right now. And actions speak louder than words. Because we're going through a massive spiritual awakening, you're going to see people just trying to grab a microphone and just bring that same old BS from like the old world into this new world. And it's up to you to decide, like, am I giving them my attention, my dollars, my energy? Okay, so we need that discernment because we need people showing up for the we right now. I was laughing like over the weekend. Full moon in Libra's mantra is definitely like we're all in this together. Like full moon in Libra is like we're doing this. The we, the balance of the masculine and feminine. We are the ones we have been waiting for, and we're gonna do it. Social justice. But like there was this meme this weekend about like, celebrities saying we are all in the same boat together, and then the meme was like, celebrity's boat is a yacht and my boat is like a rowboat with holes in it. So it's like there's something about talk, like we're all in this together. Okay, well, if you're again someone with influence, someone with power, someone with prosperity or a platform to share, then like I expect you to show up for the community as someone, and then then I will, support you, and then I will be like, you're doing good work. We people who are just celebrities who are just filming like lip sync videos, it's like, no, show up like Rihanna, show up like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like give us your dollars. We don't need your voice singing right now. Like that's me energy. That's ego energy. Okay. We want heart-centered work right now. So I invite you to bring this shift into your everyday life, balance, full moon and Libra, masculine and feminine, financial sovereignty. What do I need to get there? Is it mindset work? Is it taking inspired action? Because it's supported right now. Okay. So we have to get out of our own way. And then it's looking at social justice work. It's looking at what can I do for the collective, and who are the leaders around me who are providing good model for this, who is walking the walk and not just talking the talk, and make sure you're following, like in a metaphorical sense and maybe on Instagram sense, the right people. Okay. I watched this weekend with this 444 portal, like people who are spiritual people just trying to say things to their community that just felt so ungrounded and so all about me, and like, look at me, and I'm so right. And like, it really made my stomach turn actually. So check in with yourself. You're your own healer. You're your own psychic. You're your own leader. Check in with yourself first. Okay, babies? So full moon in Libra, I pulled some cards for us to give you some more to think about. I pulled a card for like our heart medicine, what we need, because I was feeling a lot of heart energy coming through. We did this breath work last night. I feel like we're all going through a lot of heart medicine. Everything flows through our heart, good and bad. So I wanted to pull a card for our heart medicine. And then I wanted to pull a card for like just our body medicine, our self-care, what do we like physically need. And then a card for like our spirit medicine of like where our spirit wants to be led, what in our spirit's being activated under this full moon. So are you guys ready just for a quick little card pull? Because these were like amazing. I pulled them before the IG live and I was like just completely shook by them. Okay. So heart medicine. Heart medicine, forgive. And look, it literally looks like this full moon is like beaming on this person, and then there's the moon and the tides. So heart, okay. Forgiveness. There's some forgiveness that needs to happen for us all, okay? Um, this could be forgiving someone who's let you down recently, or forgiveness from something deep that happened, like maybe from your childhood or your past, a past partner, lover, or really just forgiveness for yourself right now, like forgiving yourself if you have, given away your power, forgiving yourself for, not doing things right. That's not even a thing, but we are really hard on ourselves. And especially with this quarantine, we've all seen the memes and there's a lot of graphics about like, are you supposed to be using this time to be productive? Are you supposed to be using this time to be like doing all the things? Are you supposed to be sad? Are you supposed to be happy? Like, we don't effing know. No one knows. There's no roadmap for this. No one's ever gone down this road before. So we need forgiveness. All my mamas out there, I've heard so many things about like, I feel so bad. My kids are having so much screen time, or I'm, not cooking enough. I'm like, forgive yourself. That stuff's like, you're in a quarantine during a pandemic. Like, if they need to watch a little extra screen time, like, you'll figure it out, okay? People who just, I've heard so many things. People's being very, very hard on themselves. So I think our hearts under this full moon in Libra, let the moon tomorrow, let the moon just bathe your heart in some forgiveness, okay? If you didn't watch our prayer, our Reiki prayer and breath work last night, that replays on YouTube, and that just might be a good thing to listen to activate some of that heart healing energy and forgiveness. That leads me to my next point, our body medicine for this full moon, Four of Cups. Four of Cups from the Star Child Tarot. Um, Four of Cups is about just meditating and going within and doing less and letting all of those emotions, all that cups, just come into stillness, okay? Like come into rest to build a foundation for us. This is all this four energy we've been having all weekend. We went through the 444 portal. We're in a 4 year. Four is about like, yeah, building the foundation, setting, and cups is emotion. So, what's our emotional foundation? Okay. What are the emotional things you want to do for yourself right now? But how do we lead our body with that? How do we sit? How do we take good care of ourselves? Like I said yesterday, all the energy healing, we're processing a lot right now. And Four of Cups, I want you to just come into stillness and build some sort of foundation or ritual for yourself that feels like, okay, I can breathe easy. I can look at all the emotions coming up. I don't have to react to them. And I can just take a load off. Okay. I don't have to do anything right now. I can just be with them and be present with them. Um, I love that. And then the spirit medicine I pulled, Wild Woman card. Yes, Wild Woman. This Wild Woman card got me so charged up because I was thinking so much about how all of us are having to activate this like softness and this strength and this radiance and this rootedness and all of these things that are kind of seem opposites, but they all go together. And this is all in our masculine feminine. And the wild woman is one of the archetypes of the feminine. The wild woman is one of the archetypes of the cosmic boss that we're going to look through, or the wild one, the rebel, the mystic rebel. This is Libra. This is full moon and Libra energy. Wild woman is not just about going to what's that thing, Burning Man, and being naked in the desert. Like, that's cool, and wild woman's definitely free in her body and definitely wants to be topless and wants to live an unconventional life. But the true calling, and this is where we have to not get it twisted, the true calling of the wild woman is she uses and activates her sacred rage of where she sees injustices And she rebels against convention and tradition and uses that sacred rage as a way to mend community and make sure that justice is truly for all. That's what the real, look it up if you don't believe me. That is the real calling of the wild woman. Yes, we want to be wild and free, like all the t-shirts say. And yes, we want to, like, I love a good ocean skinny dip as much as the next person. But the wild woman is so much deeper than just being like covered in body paint and having messy hair. Okay. She, he, they, wild woman archetype that exists within all of us is like a banshee coming in, screaming, hooting, hollering, arms raised, chest open, head up, and like, not on my watch. Not on my watch am I going to watch someone, pollute the land, take care of, or take advantage of others, abuse children, abuse and manipulation, and like distortions of power. The wild woman rages against that. Okay, so this is where our spirit's going this full moon. This is what's being activated. This is very full moon in Libra. So I want all of you to tune into what is the wild one, the wild woman, the mystic rebel within each of you. What is pissing her off? I tell all my clients in the Cosmic Boss, looking at what pisses you off is like a crumb. It's a thread. It's something, it leads you somewhere. Looking at what pisses you off is how change happens, how innovation, how progress happens. And the wildness has to come from like, I'm forging my own path. Maybe no one else is doing this, but it's okay. I trust that I'm going there. So really, truly, I really hope each of you can embrace and embody this wild woman energy, because this is like what we all need right now as we go into the future. Okay. We need us, like, when we're not pissed off, we don't take action. So I need us looking at sacred rage and how do I fuel that into inspired action and just give less fucks. Okay. So this is what we're going to be focusing on for our spirit energy. So we have heart, forgiveness, moon, cleansing, blasting, beautiful moon energy, cleaning our hearts. If you want to write a letter of forgiveness to yourself and others, I recommend doing that, lighting it up under the full moon. Super beautiful ritual. Four of Cups. We are going into stillness. We are meditating. We are stretching. We're taking care of our bodies as this temple for our spirit, and just sitting and being still and moving a little slower. And the wild woman is going to howl at the moon and just be like, not on my watch, not on my dime. Okay. I am not giving you my attention. I am not giving you my dollars. I am not giving you just a moment of my thought if you are not here to make the world a better place, a more united, healthier place for all, not for a limited few. Okay, guys? So this wild woman energy, I'm excited to hear what happens with that and what gets activated within all of you. So my cosmic babies, that's it. That's a wrap. That's the Monday energy report. Like I said, I'll see you guys Wednesday. We're going to have a lit full moon workshop tonight on balancing our masculine and feminine. I'm calling it rooted and radiant, because rooted is when we feel rooted and connected to our masculine. Feminine is when we feel radiant. We can attract things to us. And we need us all in that balance right now. Okay. This is wholeness. This is sovereignty. So if you are not signed up for the cosmic community, you can do that through our website. Join us tonight. If you are in the community, I'll see you there. And a few of you had questions about the Cosmic Boss, so definitely DM me. We can set up a one-on-one time to talk about if the program's a good fit for you, and also scholarship applications. So take very good care of yourselves today. I want you to wash your hands, not be racist, and perhaps spend some time howling at the moon, okay? I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you for joining. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Kelly. Thank you guys for joining. Yes, fired up. Full moon in Libra action. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.